Hey, I'm Austin. I'm 6'8" tall, and I've got a bunch of calisthenics goals that I want to achieve this 2025, including a muscle up, which I can't do yet, a 30-second handstand, which I'm about 12-ish seconds into so far, the splits on both legs, and a pistol squat on both legs. So a lot of really intense goals, especially for being somebody so tall. You know, obviously those goals are tough for anybody, but as a super long-limbed individual, I hope that this can provide some insight, maybe inspire some other tall guys out there too, to accomplish whatever your fitness goals might be. I think calisthenics goals are a really, really good thing for tall guys to work on, because tall guys typically lack a lot of body coordination, body awareness, and because tall guys weigh a lot more. I know you probably think I look skinny on camera, but I still weigh over 220 pounds, which is a lot more than the average fitness person. It makes calisthenics bodyweight exercises just a lot more challenging. So we're going to get into it. I'm just going to show you a few things. Today we're going to be working on our pistol squats and our splits. Those are going to be the main focus. We'll probably throw in some handstands too, just to get some time on the hands. And I'm going to show you some of the warm-ups and exercises that I do to practice those. So I'm literally super cold right now. I just finished filming a workout, or filming a video for my other YouTube channel, which is all about the rowing machine and the rowers. Hello, those are those. And so I'm still a little stiff though. And so I like to warm up by doing this kind of combination row and roll out. I feel like it's a good way to just get that upper body nice and warm. And yeah, I know I got these straps flapping around in front of me, but it doesn't really matter. And honestly, when I'm warming up, I don't necessarily go for a certain amount of reps. You know, you can, but at the end of the day, it's just about getting your body prepped and feeling good and not feeling stiff. It's the morning right now, but it's not super early. It's like 10 a.m. So a bit of a late start, but got my own little corner here in the gym, which is nice. Only a few people looking at me funny on camera. All right, so today's gonna be the big focus on the pistol squat. So getting the legs warmed up. I always think leg swings are really a good tried and true leg warm-up exercise, whether you're running or it's leg day or whatever. This idea of just kicking back and swinging forward, basically loosening up the two tightest areas on a tall guy's body, honestly, like hamstrings and hip flexors. How many tall guys out there can touch their toes with straight legs? Not a lot. You know, I always find that one side is tighter than the other. My right side hamstring has been like notoriously tight for like, I don't know, last 5 years straight. So it's definitely affecting my splits. But we've all got those imbalances. Like, I think it's just a totally normal human thing to have those, and that's okay. So one of the toughest parts about getting a pistol squat when you're super tall is that you've got this really long leg that gets in the way of you being able to basically keep your heel down while having this other leg straight. Just getting that mobility in the calves and Achilles to be able to keep your heel down or stay as planted as possible. It becomes exaggerated when your legs are super long. That distance between your knee and the Achilles is just way farther, so it needs to stretch a lot more. So one thing I like to do is use banded mobilization. So the idea here is essentially getting this band wrapped around the top of the foot here to actually push that top foot bone out of the way to allow the knee to more easily pass over the toe. And from here, what I do is I just get into this kind of split this pistol squat position, and I just work on shifting my weight over this front foot. So I'm driving the knee over the toe while trying to keep my heel down, knowing that my heel is gonna lift, but I'm just trying to keep it down, feeling the stretch, and just kind of using my back arm here to push my weight forward. Sometimes I'll shift the direction a bit, but I'm trying to work on this with keeping the foot planted forward. I found that a front-facing foot for squatting has worked out a lot better for me once I learned how to properly ground myself by externally rotating, kind of corkscrewing into the ground, It really helps track your thigh and your knee over your foot to prevent knee problems. And again, I'm not really counting reps here. I'm just kind of putting in whatever feels good, where I can feel the mobilization increase. So again, band right above the bone, stepping away to push that bone down, get it out of the way. And externally rotating, so screwing this foot into the ground and then pushing in. So how do you practice pistol squats if you can't do one? Well, that's what those rings are for. So we're gonna get ready to use those in a bit. But a few more warm-up exercises here, because there's no sense in trying to train if you don't warm up, especially when you're tall. You're just asking to hurt yourself. And you know, my goal is to show that tall guys aren't just uncoordinated or just like super lanky, no body control, always hurt, you know, knees and back and all that crap. Nice. And now that that's done, I always like to kind of test the ankle mobility here, essentially trying to get into a low squat, screwing the feet in, sinking down, and seeing how well I can keep a neutral spine. Oh, man, this position is just so tough. And when all of your weight's gonna be on one leg, it's so hard to keep that neutral spine posture. But the only way to keep it is if the knee drives over more. I just can't get that freaking heel down. So it's gonna be a process and a journey, but that's why I'm documenting it. It's gonna be fun to look back and see the steps as far as the journey that it's been. I've been doing this stuff for a couple weeks now, but not training seriously enough and consistently enough to really go after the goal. So that's what this is all about. So the last bit of the warm up here is just working on some step downs. This just really helps to get your glutes involved and kind of start working on that mind muscle connection for the control, shifting the hips back, bending, and really watching the knee here, trying not to let it buckle in. And I'll usually do just 10 reps on each leg here. Trying to keep like 95% of my weight in the front leg. Now, ideally, this could be a little bit more of a stable surface, but it's not the end of the world. It's just for warm-ups. Right knee's feeling a little sensitive today. I'm not sure what from, but that's how it goes. So whenever doing these step downs, I always try to think about my heel touching rather than the toes. Because if you go toes, you kind of bounce off of the back leg. But if you go heel, it makes it so that you remind yourself to keep all that action in the front leg. Okay, let's get some pistol squats going. So I found that rings really are the best way to help train the pistol squat, because you can offset as much of your body weight as you need to into your arms to help you get back up. And because, you know, I can't do one, I guess I need to kind of assess. You know what, I'll do it after I do my working sets to kind of see, because I don't want to just drop into a 1 rep max of trying to do it. But so rings are great for this because we can offset our body weight. And so what I'm working on here are sets of 5. So I'm trying to make this as intense as I can in this controlled environment with the rings, just keeping a good grip on them, keeping right underneath the rings, and starting here with my bad leg so that way I can even it out on the other. Oh man, and I'm trying to not lay back so much. And I'm trying to make this last rep as hard as I can. Especially on the way down, as light as I can onto the rings, and then on the way up, as light as I can to get back up. Much easier said than done. Whew. All right. Okay, so I noticed myself wanting to lean back more on the left side, actually. I thought my right side was the weaker one today, but I think that Achilles range of motion is feeling a little more limited on my left side. Whew. You might have noticed that I scooted back a little bit too. You know, being right under the rings can make it feel a little awkward, I think, at this stage, just because I still need a lot of assistance with these. So backing up a bit helped. But now essentially rest a couple minutes and then do it again. So usually between working sets, I like to do some sort of active something that's not related to the muscles that I'm working. So in this case, we're working our pistol squats. So I'm just gonna do some hangs with some scapular retractions, and I really like the bars we have here because this is a 9-foot bar at the top here. So my reach is just about 8'11", which means that all I need is just a little lift off, and I can actually dangle my feet here, which is great. Not something you get too often when you're a tall guy. There's not a lot of bars where you don't have to like cross your feet or something underneath you. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying to brace, locking my whole body, butt forward, abs tight, trying to bend the bar together, pull my head back in alignment, and just trying to use that to grow taller. Just kidding, but it just feels good. All right, set 2. Am I in the frame? Would you look at that? Different angle this time, and I'm gonna start with my left leg this time since that was clearly my weaker side. So I like to follow this protocol, this bracing protocol that I use with all my clients and myself for any exercise. F-brash, feet, butt, ribs, abs, shoulders, head. So it's the sequencing of bracing yourself. So starting with the feet, planting it down, externally rotating, screwing into the ground, butt squeezed forward, ribs over the abs, abs tight, shoulders back, head in alignment. And now let's do this. Man, I can feel my ankle just wanting to rotate in. It's like your body's compensation for lack of Achilles flexibility. Your heels will rotate in. Super common. You see it all the time. I'm really trying to fight that though. Oh man, that side's way stronger. I definitely think the first pistol squat's gonna happen on the right leg. For sure. Nice, so I'm gonna work just one more set of that, and then we're gonna move on to some new stuff. When it comes to the strength side of things, I'm not trying to go for necessarily muscle gain, more body awareness and just having that explosive power to drive up. So keeping the sets only to 3 rather than bodybuilding style, like 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps. So a few sets, tough, intense. Yeah, one more. Okay, a couple minutes of rest done. Feeling it, which is good. We're feeling it really in the quads, which is where you're gonna get, most of the fatigue in this, just because the leg bend is so intense. Getting that huge full stretch on the quads without your hips extended, but whatever. Figured this would be a good angle to kind of track the foot alignment here. So this is more for me than for you to watch and reflect later, but we'll see how we do. I think being transparent as a trainer in your own trainings, I think it's super important. So this might not be perfect, but we'll give it a shot. I'm gonna step a little farther back here for a little more support. Screwing the foot in. Oh, was good. All right, time for the good side. The goal there was to make that last rep really hard. And who would have thought? It was really hard. I'm gonna rest for like a minute or two. And then I'm gonna just kind of test the pistol squat, see what it looks like. Pistol squat, March 12th, 2025. Go right leg first, the strong leg. Oh. Lame. All right, left side. Why was that kind of better? Still lame, but you know, while we're here, might as well test the handstand too. And the splits. We'll do both. See this handstand here. Okay, that was a warm-up one. Let's try again. Boom. Oh, okay. Pretty good. I've done better. Might as well see what the splits look like here. Sinking in. Been working on the splits on and off for a few years, but not warmed up for it, or like haven't practiced today, so this is where we're at. It's on my good side. Let's try the bad side. Oh, how's it looking? Oh, this is the year though, where it's gonna happen. Mark my words. And a hello from the car. I didn't really get a chance to film too much else, just because I realized I had to get home pretty quickly. So I'm gonna make this brief, but I did get in a few extra sets of pull-ups and push-ups just to kind of round out the lower body training. But that's kind of the work that I'm doing right now for the pistol squat. I'm doing a few other things as well to help with that. That's kind of the gist of it. And honestly, I just wanted to make this video as like a little tester. Is this something that you're interested in seeing, especially for my tall guys out there? You know, are you interested in seeing how I progress these exercises and work up to them? If you want to see stuff like this, I'm happy to make it, and I do enjoy documenting the journey as well. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts down below, and I will try to get in a couple more videos too of the other calisthenics goals that I'm working on right now, and some of the stuff I'm doing with it, and at the very least check in at least every few weeks just to see how the progress is going. And so at least there'll be that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, you're not an average Joe, so stop training like one.